Epilepsy warning for flashing lights and colors.
If you've ever been to an Aldi supermarket, you'll notice that a lot of products are eerily similar to more famous brands. In many ways, the amusement industry is no different. You may have heard of the many alleged knockoff coaster designs made by predominantly Chinese manufacturers, but there are some more egregious examples that many say are blatant copies of unique attractions. Recently, I conducted a poll with my viewers to rank some of the most suspiciously similar attractions around the world. So as voted on by the viewers, here are the top 10 most egregious knockoff rides. Just a quick disclaimer though, being a knockoff isn't illegal. Whether something violates copyright is up to the legal system and not me. This video is simply a fun way to compare rides that are arguably a bit too similar. With that being said, let's get on with the list. Number 10. Soar in the Sky at China's Beijing Xinjiang Amusement Park. A knockoff of Soarin' at various Disney parks. This list is truly starting off with a bang, because there is quite a lot to say about this entry. First of all, the park itself is no stranger to copyright infringement accusations. First opening in 1986, this local government-owned theme park has been under heavy scrutiny over the years. Not only does it feature a structure similar to Sleeping Beauty Castle, but it also features a structure quite similar to Spaceship Earth. While other geodesic domes exist outside of Disney, the attraction inside this dome is widely considered to be another knockoff. Inside this dome is an attraction known as Soar in the Sky. While it doesn't feature the exact same footage as Soarin', it features many of the same locations, some of which include the Great Wall of China, the Pyramids of Egypt, the Eiffel Tower, and even the Golden Gate Bridge from the original Soarin' over California rendition. While many have criticized the current version of Soarin' for its use of CGI and cheesy transitions, the ride in Beijing is even lazier. While Soarin' uses creative transitions between locations, Soar in the Sky often resorts to simple fades that anyone in Windows Movie Maker could put in there. Plus, the CGI in Soar in the Sky is much more obvious, looking like something straight out of a Sci-Fi Channel movie. Not to mention the projection quality is so poor, it makes 8th grade math class look like a James Cameron IMAX movie. So far, only one video of this attraction exists online, and thanks to YouTube user VPTest1, we can all marvel at how hilariously bad this ride is. Number 9. Pirate Adventure at England's Drayton Manor. A knockoff of Pirates of the Caribbean at various Disney parks. We've talked about this ride before in my second Submechanophobia video, but the attraction as a whole is really worth going into. Disney's Pirates of the Caribbean needs no introduction. The ride even has a blockbuster movie series based on it, albeit one that progressively got worse with each entry, but still, even the worst Pirates of the Caribbean movie is better than Cars 2. Maybe. As for the ride at Drayton Manor, there are several elements that many say were a bit too inspired by the Disney rendition. First off, the ride features a drop towards the beginning. That may be a minor similarity, but that's just the beginning. Several scenic elements such as passing by large-scale pirate ships, and a town overrun by pirates were certainly inspired by the Disney attraction. But one scene in particular is widely considered to be a blatant copy. During the ride, the boat would pass by a scene of 3 prisoners trying to trick a goat into handing over the key to their cell. This is exactly like the famous original scene where 3 prisoners try to get a dog to hand over the cell key. Come on people, just because you swap out a dog with a goat doesn't mean you're being original. Still though, this ride has developed a cult following over the years, and many park fans still have fond memories of it. After the ride's closure in 2015, several parts were auctioned off, and this swashbuckling adventure isn't likely to be forgotten anytime soon. Number 8. Millennium Force at Pakistan's Askari Islands of Fun. A knockoff of Millennium Force at Ohio's Cedar Point. If you're a coaster enthusiast, you'll immediately know what Millennium Force is. This massive attraction was the first full-circuit roller coaster on Earth to break the 300-foot mark, making it the world's first giga-coaster. Its sapphire blue track, enormous airtime hills, and heart-pounding speed make it an especially iconic attraction. However, a not-so-iconic ride of the same name also exists across the globe. Located in Pakistan's largest city, Karachi, this ride stands at a family amusement park named Askari Islands of Fun. To be fair, the coaster itself is nothing like Millennium Force. While the one in Ohio is a massive coaster, the one in Pakistan is much more compact, featuring a vertical loop as well. Still though, the fact that they use the name Millennium Force is arguably pretty egregious. It's one thing to use a standard name like Viper or Goliath, but naming the ride after one of the most iconic coasters on Earth almost certainly can't be a coincidence. It's unlikely Cedar Fair gave permission to use the ride's name, but they aren't likely to go after a small park in Pakistan since it really doesn't hurt their bottom line. For now, it looks like there will be 2 Millennium Forces in operation for the foreseeable future. I can easily imagine the following conversation happening in Karachi. Junior says, "Mom, can I ride Millennium Force?" To which the mom replies, "We have Millennium Force at home." Number 7. Vertical roller coaster at China's Great Jingdong Tourist World, a knockoff of Krake at Germany's Heidi Park. Built by Swiss manufacturer Bolliger and Mabillard, the dive coaster model has become one of the biggest fan favorites on the market. This coaster model is known for hanging guests over a 90-degree drop before plunging them downwards. One of the most notable dive coasters in the world is certainly Krake in Germany. Found at Heidi Park, this coaster's drop goes straight into the mouth of a ravenous monster. It's an amazingly themed coaster, and clearly someone over in China was inspired by it, because in 2018, a suspiciously similar attraction opened at Jingdong Tourist World. Built by Chinese manufacturer Golden Horse, this coaster has quite a few technical similarities to the original dive coaster model. Certain sections of the ride have a nearly identical box spine track design, and the train design is pretty darn close as well. As for the ride experience itself, it too takes riders into the mouth of a sea creature. This time though, a shark takes the place of Krake's octopus-like creature. Over the years, Golden Horse has received heavy criticism in the industry for allegedly copying other manufacturers, and this ride's reception was no different. I'll admit, I haven't found a lot of information about how good this ride is, so if you got to check it out, let me know about it in the comments. Number 6. The Sounding Roller Coaster model by Chinese manufacturer Zhaozheng Amusement Equipment Company Ltd. A knockoff of the Tower Coaster by Italian manufacturer SBF Visa. We've discussed this attraction before in my Weirdest Roller Coasters video, but for those of you who haven't heard of it, here's a brief summary. First said to operate in 2003, the Tower Coaster model was a creation by Italian manufacturer SBF Visa. It originally operated in the German fair circuit under the name Cool and Fresh. This seemingly compact coaster featured what many consider to be the steepest drop of all time, seemingly dipping riders completely upside down. Immediately after this element was a 90-degree drop and a vertical loop, with the ride ending shortly afterwards. Despite its unique appearance, the model didn't really catch on in the industry, with only one said to have been built. Nevertheless, this didn't stop Chinese manufacturer Zhaozheng from building their own alleged interpretation. Named after a sounding rocket, this coaster model has certainly taken inspiration from Cool and Fresh. It too starts off with a vertical lift, followed by a beyond vertical drop and a vertical loop in that order. Also like Cool and Fresh, there isn't much else to this ride, as the layout ends shortly afterwards, but not before a long, awkward section of straight track and 2 abrupt turns. So far, only 4 of these coasters were known to have been built, with the only one still operating said to be at Shundi Mausoleum Water Park, and yes, that is a real park name. Photos and video of this ride are extremely rare, so a special thanks to Coaster Dave and Roller Coaster Dream for documenting this strange creation. Number 5. The Broken Rail Coaster by Chinese manufacturer Golden Horse, a knockoff of Gravity Max at Taiwan's Libao Discoveryland. Pretty much every coaster enthusiast and their grandmother has heard of Gravity Max at some point. This coaster is pretty much a real-life clickbait thumbnail and has been predominantly featured in numerous top 10 videos. Built by Dutch manufacturer Vekoma, this model known as a tilt coaster starts off by taking guests up to a moving track section. After reaching the peak, this section of track slowly tilts into position, going from horizontal to vertical. After an insanely suspenseful few seconds with an open-ended track section, the train is finally released, safely taking riders on a thrilling drop downwards. Despite its notoriety and viral video success, Vekoma never did build another tilt coaster model. Golden Horse once again stepped in to revive this concept. In September 2016, they would see their first ever broken rail coaster model open to the public. This coaster, named Battle of Jungle King, would debut at Hefei Sunac Land. This coaster would feature a near similar tilt track mechanism, but there were a few differences with the original. The design of the track is different, and the ride experience consists of 2 dueling tracks that tilt facing each other. However, many have labeled the ride as inferior to the original. It doesn't max out at a 90-degree angle, which some say make it less thrilling. Also, the ride is said to be incredibly rough, with passengers' heads being knocked side to side on the over-the-shoulder restraints. Despite the negative reception though, Golden Horses went on to design 2 more of these coasters, with another one said to open next year. Hopefully the company will improve the design by then. Number 4, Earthquake the Ride in Gatlinburg, Tennessee, a knockoff of Earthquake the Big One at Universal Studios Orlando. While many of Universal Orlando's opening day attractions have since gone defunct, rides such as Kongfrontation and of course the Jaws ride have received a cult following over the years. Another fondly remembered ride is Earthquake the Big One. Based on the 1974 disaster film, this ride took guests inside a subway station during a powerful 8.3 magnitude quake. The ride had no turns, simply taking guests forwards and backwards. The experience consisted of a single set piece, in which the scenery shook, water flooded in, and a truck came careening towards the passengers. It was a unique and ambitious attraction for the time, and although it's been closed since 2007, you can get the same experience in Tennessee, sort of. Found in the Smoky Mountains, this infamous dark ride has the same structure as the original. It takes place in a subway station, it has a simple track layout that goes back and forth, the scenery shakes, and water floods in. It's clear to see why many consider this a straight-up knockoff of the Universal ride, but they did have some original elements, like alligators popping out of sewer pipes, giant spiders that hang overhead, gravity-defying rats, and a rabid gorilla that's hell-bent on slapping you in the face. Now this ride isn't exactly beloved by the public, and the ratings online are pretty brutal, but I'd actually recommend it for its sheer insanity alone. It really is so bad it's good. Number 3, Space Mountain at Taiwan's Formosan Aboriginal Cultural Village, a knockoff of Space Mountain at Florida's Magic Kingdom. Space Mountain is yet another Disney ride that pretty much needs no introduction. I dare even say it's one of the most iconic roller coasters of all time, using pitch black darkness to make an otherwise tame roller coaster much more thrilling. But you don't have to visit a Disney park to experience this kind of ride, because believe it or not, one Taiwanese roller coaster is arguably the exact same thing. This roller coaster, also named Space Mountain, is a Vekoma MK700 model. While a different model than the one at Disney World, the coaster still offers the same one per row seating as the Magic Kingdom Space Mountain. Moreover, look at these two lighting effects. They are practically indistinguishable from each other. If I was Disney, I'd be like, what the hell, dude? Admittedly though, I couldn't find a lot of information about this ride, so it is possible that Disney gave the park permission to copy Space Mountain. If anyone knows anything else about this ride, feel free to leave a comment down below. Number 2, Volcano Coaster at Indonesia's Jawa Timur Park 1, a knockoff of Volcano the Blast Coaster at Virginia's King's Dominion. A couple years ago, you, the viewers, ranked Volcano as the most sorely missed defunct roller coaster of all time, beating the likes of Dueling Dragons and Big Bad Wolf. This now demolished inverted coaster once took guests through the inside of a man-made mountain, shooting them out of the top like lava. To put it simply, it's the textbook definition of gone but not forgotten. However, if you still want to get your fix of volcano-themed rides inside man-made mountains, Indonesia has you covered. Found in the beautiful province of East Java, Jawa Timur Park is a small family amusement park with one huge knockoff ride. This ride, named Volcano Coaster, is also built inside a man-made mountain. Not only that, but the ride signage actually has the audacity of using Volcano the Blast Coaster's logo. For some reason, the sign also has pictures of the Santa Monica Pier's West Coaster and the now defunct Invertigo from California's Great America. As for the coaster itself, it's sadly nowhere near as thrilling as the original, consisting of a small family-friendly layout that meanders around. Plus, while I sadly didn't get to ride the original, I'm fairly certain volcanoes don't have penguins living inside of them. But hey, the people in the footage seem to be having fun, so I won't rain on their parade any more than I already have. Number 1, Fairytale World at China's Suzhou Amusement Land, a knockoff of It's a Small World at various Disney parks. One of the most cherished Disney theme park attractions is by far It's a Small World. Originating at the 1964 World's Fair, this attraction is a slow-moving boat ride with over 300 audio animatronics, each portraying the world's many different cultures. Classified as creepy by some and cute by others, the ride predominantly features doll-like figures dressed in a variety of multicultural outfits. Though it's immediately recognizable by Disney fans, many are not aware of an eerily similar ride in China. Found at Suzhou Amusement Land, this boat ride also features doll-like figures with a near-exact art style to It's a Small World. Plus, a number of set pieces are seemingly ripped right off of the original. But to this ride's credit, it is unique in how flat-out crazy it is. And where do I even begin with it? Here's a giant chipmunk in a top hat. Here's Mannequin Peace. Here's SpongeBob freaking SquarePants. Though it's arguably a copycat in many ways, you do have to give it some points for originality. And by originality, I mean what the
Before we wrap things up, check out my merchandise shop for Theme Park Crazy merchandise. Take a photo wearing one of my shirts at a park, and feel free to send it to me at themeparkcrazy1992@gmail.com. Your photo may be featured on my Instagram page.
Thank you all so much, and if you want to support me on Patreon, you can do so once again at the link in the description.
Thanks for watching, everyone. Feel free to like, share, and subscribe. You can follow me on social media on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook, or you can check out my website at themeparkcrazy.com. This is Theme Park Crazy, and I'll see you all next time.